Everybody, welcome to Teaching Crypto. Please hit that like, hit subscribe, bell notification. Super chats in the store are open. We had a bit of a dip with Bitcoin in the market over the past 3 to 4 days. We had a sell off that was kind of forced with Digital Galaxy, but I'm not worried, Mr. FOMO, because I think the charts look pretty good. And I know 125 to 130, like I predicted for this month, especially the 125, is not looking great as it's the 28th. We only have a few days left, but I'm still optimistic. I'll let you talk in a second, but I'm still holding on to my 150, 180 mid to late October prediction for Bitcoin in a very brief, quick alt season where you're just going to have to be quick to take profits.
I think you might be right. I think we still have some room to run here with Bitcoin and some of the alts. I don't know that it's even going to make it as far as October. I think it may kick out in August or September, and that leaves us precious little time for things to get running, especially for the altcoins. Now, my question to you is, with Bitcoin dominance falling a little bit to 60.8% and ETH dominance rising to 11.8%. Do you think that is a signal? Because a lot of people are saying that is a signal when Bitcoin dominance drops and ETH dominance starts to rise, that is a signal for the alt season to begin. Do you think that is a signal for the alt season to start?
It has been in the past, but this has happened in the previous cycles a lot earlier than now. If you remember the last cycle, ETH had a nice run, and then we had that mini bear, and then it was around this time, if you remember, last week of July where things finally turned around and we had that second leg up, but that second leg didn't even last till Halloween. So you got to be careful. Right. I look, I'm bullish on Bitcoin for August. I really am. I don't think we've topped off. I think we're at least getting to 130 minimum August, but I'm hoping for 140K Bitcoin in August, maybe a bit of a dip. September sometimes isn't that great for Bitcoin. And then one more big push in October. And in between, I think you're going to see alts go. And we're going to give you two today that you definitely want to think about having in your portfolio over the next 3 months. Listen, it's a short game now. With baseball analogy, you're in the 8th or 9th inning. Football, you 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. Basketball, same thing. We missed a lot of time. We don't want to go over all the reasons why. It is what it is. You can't change the past, and quite frankly, none of it was in anyone's control. So you gotta, they say you gotta go with the cards you're dealt with. And right now, I think there's still some opportunity. Now, here's the reality. Bitcoin is still your safest bet. However, Bitcoin's not going to 2x in the next 3 months. Unless something extraordinary happens on Wednesday. We'll talk about what's happening on Wednesday. My 150 to 180 is most likely a pretty good range of where we're going to end up. Could we hit 200? Yeah. But anyone still waiting for 300 to 400 this year or even in 2026, I think they're just being overly optimistic. I just don't. Bitcoin will get there, but on its own time and its own schedule. And now's not that time. So, Mr. FOMO, here, I want to talk about Wednesday. We talked about it briefly off the air. So, on Wednesday, the White House is set to release its digital assets report. And we don't know exactly what's going to be said. We do know there's a press conference. We've said they have important information. Now, they've said that in the past, and they've given us very little details. So my question to you is, are we going to get some actual hard numbers in terms of, okay, this is how much Bitcoin we have, and this is how much we're going to buy, and then we're going to buy it over the next 3 years? If that happens, that could be a significant day in the history of Bitcoin. Could, with a capital C, because we don't know exactly what they're going to say. There are a lot of accounts saying Wednesday is going to be a historic day. I don't want to BS our audience. It could be, but it also could be a press conference just to divert attention from the Epstein files, honestly.
I want it to be clarity on what we have as far as Bitcoin, what we're going to buy as far as Bitcoin, what we're going to buy as far as altcoins, what our strategy is as far as the altcoin market. And my hope is that that's what we're going to see. The reality is probably a lot more watered down than that. We know that in the past we've had these press conferences and we've had these announcements, and they turned out to be huge nothing burgers. And I have a feeling that this is going to be another one of those nothing burgers. But my hope is that it's this historic day that everybody's talking about that will send Bitcoin and altcoins through the roof. Um, um, I'm a bit of a realist, knowing
So do
what
you
has
think you'll
happened
at least
before.
tell us how much the government holds? Because that's been debated. There's numbers that are very, very different based on the wallets that appear and don't appear on the ledger.
I
So
think
can
we'll,
we
we'll
at least get clarity on that, do you
how
think?
much we hold, but it'll be underwhelming.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And you think
I hope
they'll
I'm wrong. This is the truth of it. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope that they come out with this groundbreaking announcement that just shatters everything that we've ever heard of in crypto before and sends everything skyrocketing. I will be ecstatic if that happens. But the realist and the the pessimist in me
well,
says that that's probably not what we're going to get.
listen, a lot of teachers have to report on Friday. So this is kind of the last chance to retire
It ain't
early.
happening. Don't don't mouth off to anybody. Make sure you keep that job.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we're going to give you two tokens because we do believe there will be an alt season. Again, if you're sitting there waiting for the 10 to 100x, God bless you. You're you're going to be left in the cold.
If you
But
find
I'm
it,
going to
even
give you
better.
one. I'm going to give you one that's been running really well over the past month, especially the last week or so. And it's under the radar. This had a lot of press during the bear market, believe it or not, as a new token. So you can see here, Injective is up almost 34% this month. Started off in the high 10s. It actually hit 16 early today and then retraced because of our, we've just had some Bitcoin retracing here. I think today was more about people getting liquidated because they thought the leg up was going to happen today. It didn't quite happen, although we're sitting at a comfortable 118 right now. But I think Injective right now, if you're looking for a safe alt, and I think I'm going to make my prediction here. I think Injective can 2x over the next 4 to 5 weeks. If all things go well with Bitcoin, I think you can see a $30 Injective. That means you buy right now, time sensitive. Please do your own research. You could see a nice 2x profit. It might not make you rich, but it's 2x you didn't have today, tomorrow, over the next 4 to 5 weeks. There are other tokens that probably will do better, but I'm just letting you know this one has shown a ton of strength. The volume has been going up steadily. And I think this one has a chance to really surprise people because it was a darling about a year ago. There were a lot. We used to talk about Injective a lot, and it's kind of lost its how do I put it? Kind of lost, I wouldn't say it's enthusiasm, but the attention is not like what it used to do. I want to remind the viewers the all-time high for Injective is 53.01. I think it has a decent chance to get there by October. I really do. The yearly high, 35. I think it can get to that, but at least get back to 30. I think right now is very legitimate. Just for honesty's sake, we want to be honest with our viewers. I do hold some Injective. The market cap right now, Mr. FOMO, is only 1.5 billion, and for a pretty big cap, that's not bad. I'm telling you, that's not bad. I could easily see this thing get to 3 billion over the next few months if we do heat up. Right now, the volume today was only 216 million. So there's a lot of room for growth here with Injective. Mark Cuban is in it. I'm not saying good things or bad things about Mark Cuban right now, but there are some heavy hitters in this project, and I don't think it's going to sit dormant for the next 3 months. This is one I think there are some tokens that will definitely do okay and well, even though there are some. We talked about how there are so many 8 million listed tokens, and some of them just don't have a shot. This is not one of them. This will do okay. Again, you don't want to be holding any of these in 2026, in my opinion. But if you don't have any, exposure to Injective and you're looking for something safe, this is probably going to outdo Bitcoin most likely over the next 2.5 months. So I like Injective here.
Yeah, I like Injective too. I like that market cap. I like the people behind it. My my biggest problem, and you can see it up there at the top there briefly, and CoinMarketCap is listing now that there's 18.9 million different cryptos out there. And so this alt season, if we do get an alt season, will be tempered. And I think that you have the right idea in going low with your expectations for injective. I could easily see this 3xing or more if we were in a normal market, right? If this were 4 years ago, I could easily see this.
Oh, this could easily get to 10 billion 4 years ago. Yeah.
But now, with as watered down and thinned out as the market is, I think we're going to have problems finding those 3, 4, 5x's. And you're right. I think this is a sleeper, really, at number 63. With as much as people were talking about it, as much hype that it has behind it, I think that's a good pick.
All right, and you have one for us that you're really high on in the month of August, so I'll take it away.
I like one that is a little bit higher in market cap, and I don't have it pulled up, but I like SWI. SWI is a layer 1 blockchain, groundbreaking layer 1 blockchain that is supposed to be developer friendly, but it's around 13 billion in market cap. And again, don't expect 3, 4, 5x's from something like SWI or something like injective. But if you get 50% or more, you're looking pretty good, especially if you put a decent chunk of change into it.
Well, I wanted to say something, though. SWI has been a powerhouse quietly. I don't think we've given it enough attention. Look at what it started the year at, Mr. FOMO, 78 cents. And we're almost at $4 here.
And they've gone on a heater in the month of July. They've gone up 40% despite a token unlock on July 1st. So
yeah,
normally
we mentioned
a
that
token
a few
unlock
months
would
ago.
water down your price, but the token unlock a month ago only dipped the price a little bit, and the price ran about 40% after that.
So you see the all-time high was a little under 5, so still some room to grow. This is a bigger market cap than mine, but look at the daily volume, 2.3 billion. So yeah, I could see SWI getting to the $6 to $8 range, maybe a little bit more, depending on how things run. I think this is a very safe pick. We're not giving you the next Penguin U or anything like that, because quite frankly, for every Peng U,
to be honest with you, this would be one that I would consider more of a blue chip. Number 12 on CoinMarketCap, 13 billion in its own market cap. I think you would consider this one of the bigger portions of your portfolio if you were going to pick it up. And to be honest with you, I picked SWI up a long time ago. But if you're going to pick SWI up, like I said, don't expect 3, 4, 5x, but this will be a cornerstone of your portfolio where you can expect it to hold a little bit in times when the market goes down.
And so what you may want to do is you, again, do your own research, and we'll give you some ideas. Have these in your portfolio. If you haven't allotted and you want to try to really cash in over the next 3 months, these are two. Maybe always go heavy on Bitcoin. I still would have some ETH exposure, although I'll be honest, Mr. FOMO, we're not lying. I'm kind of looking at 5K next month as a profit-taking area for ETH. Could it go much higher? Absolutely. But if you got your ETH when we told you to under 2K and it gets to 5K, that's a nice profit. That's paying off some credit card bills and, living a little bit. So for me, when ETH gets to 5K, depending on how quickly it happens, and it's not a guarantee, but I do like ETH showing a lot of strength. In fact, I'm expecting a 4K ETH over the next few days. A 5K ETH might be good to take some profits. It doesn't mean it might not go much higher by October. I don't particularly think we're going to see a 10K ETH this cycle, but who knows?
7K tops.
Yeah, probably 7 to 8K range. But for me, I want to take some profits here. We've talked about this before. If you're planning on waiting till the perfect day in October to trade all your tokens, you're probably going to be disappointed because they're going to run on different days. And again, you might want to.
Taking doesn't have to look like wiping out your whole portfolio.
Mhm.
Profit taking could be one altcoin at a time, right? Like
Mhm.
you've said before. Or profit taking doesn't mean you have to wipe out an alt altogether. You could take a little bit off the top. You could
I
take your initial investment and play with house money, or you could take a lot of it out and leave a small moon bag for yourself. Or again, you could wipe out the whole thing, but that's up to you. But profit taking doesn't have to look like one set thing. There can be different strategies for your profit taking.
I would definitely consider um I would definitely consider making sure you sell all your alts before 2026. Again, do your own research. One strategy might be to sell some of your Bitcoin and leave some in there in case the cycle is broken. Neither of us think the cycle has been broken, but you never know. If game theory starts playing out, what you're going to see is a massive bull run in Bitcoin mostly instead of the traditional bear. And at that point, you might be chasing Bitcoin, right? So, like
Mm-hmm.
some people were caught chasing over the last year when it dipped to 49K. They're like, oh, maybe there is not going to be a bull run. And next thing you know, even today, we're not happy, and Bitcoin's at 118K. And it seems like just yesterday, I always remember this. 26 months ago, I was in a room with you and Bitcoin was at 26K, and I looked at you and said, "Man, this is a great chance to buy." And people are going to be
Mm-hmm.
looking, and I think 4 years from now, 116 is going to be amazing. I think we're going to be over 300 to 400 in the next 4 years. The million's going to come. It's just not going to come as fast as you want it. My biggest concern is what is $1 million going to get you 8 years from now? Versus what $1 million gets you today. It's a very different thing, but you're still drastically beating inflation because whatever
Drastic.
that money is sitting in your bank account, getting that 1% maybe APR or maybe two if you're lucky, it's not going to be performing as well as Bitcoin over the years. Think about what you could have done with 100K 10 years ago, the spending power you had. And if you just left in the bank, yeah, you still have that 100K, but it does not buy you what it once did. Not even
No,
close. I mean, that a lot of people are wiping out 100K just by buying a car. And so you used to
it's
be able to
true.
buy, and you used to be able to buy two cars,
Three
sometimes
cars
depending
even.
on maybe three if you weren't picky. So that just gives you an idea of where we're at. I think we're still early, coming off vacation, talking to some people. They're still not that they're not believers. There's just not a lot of Bitcoin knowledge out there with the average person. And maybe I'm just naive. I thought we are in a bigger place than we were last cycle 4 years ago. But there's still a long way to go. There are still people that have no idea what Bitcoin does, how it works. I'll tell you a funny story. Someone asked me just a few months ago, "What if no one wants to buy your Bitcoin from you?" So there's still that lack of knowledge. You laugh, but how many people would be having that conversation with?
Right.
It's not there yet. We're still
What happens
early.
when nobody wants to buy Bitcoin? Well,
Well, no, but the person thought that the only way you could sell it was almost like selling an old TV or an old mattress or an old couch, where you would put it on eBay or something, or or the Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but they have that page where you want to sell stuff. It doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't quite work
no,
that
it's
way. They
not
don't
quite the
get the
same.
scarcity. They don't get the store of value, and that's a shame. Go back and watch Mr. FOMO's Bitcoin video from a few years ago. I think he did a great job of explaining it. And we're here for the long run. By the way, I just want to mention this. I still think Peng Yu has some room to run. It's been chosen for whatever reason to be this darling cycle, and I think this one still has room to run. And the question is, what is the next Peng Yu? It's so hard to tell because for every Peng Yu, there's 1,000 of them that just die after 2 or 3 days. That's the real challenge
That's
here.
the truth of it. And that's the real challenge. And the real challenge, not only before it was hard enough, 4 years ago was hard enough when there were, you know, how many less tokens on how many
Mm.
millions less tokens on the market, but now 18.9 million and growing.
But some
That's
of
the
them are
crypto
dormant.
market now.
Some of them are dormant, but not everyone knows that they're dormant, right? Someone's buddy might
Right.
say, "Hey, go put some money into dog poop," and the, you know, there, and there's all kinds of stuff. Um, it's look, the market's feeling it, right? The market is feeling it. I honestly thought, for example, being honest, I thought as of now, something like Dogecoin would be doing much better. It's okay. It's at 23 cents. I mean, it started the year at 8 cents, so it's actually doing pretty well. But at one point in the cycle, it was at 48 cents. I still think Doge can make a run at $1, but my confidence is not what it was a couple months ago. I'll say that. I still think Doge
I
can make
just,
a run.
I really think that you were right. Temper your expectations for your altcoins. A market this heavy and this watered down is going to be
And
hard to catch those lightning in a
and it's going to
bottle.
have some ramifications. If there is a bear market, these altcoins are just going to get decimated because everyone that's in the space is going to realize there are no guarantees. These things. The idea was you get rewarded for holding these. You get decimated for a couple years, and then once the cycle comes back up, you get rewarded with your 20, 50 to 100x. But people are not seeing that. So now, what are you getting? You might get a 2 or 3x by holding for 4 years, and not all of them, by the way, not all. Not
No.
some of them are not recovering at all. Is that worth putting down thousands of hard-earned money on something that versus just putting it on Bitcoin, knowing eventually you'll get rewarded? I think that's the
Well, I
difference.
think the problem with the space is still there's not a lot of people in the space, and a majority of the people who are in the space, let's face it, are degen gamblers who are trying to hit the next, like you said, the next lightning in a bottle, or they're longing or shorting the market with 100x leverage. And those things have ramifications. Those are problems with our market right now. You don't have people who are in it for the long haul, except for really Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum. But people who are in this market by and large are people who are looking to catch that lightning in a bottle. And I think that's still a problem with the market. And I think that's still why we're going to
I
have a
mean,
bear.
Avalanche should be pumping with that deal with the state of New Jersey. Really, Avalanche should be pumping, and the market cap, it's okay, it's all right. The market cap for Avalanche is only 10.7 billion, which is not bad, but it should be like right below Ethereum and Bitcoin because of utility. But we're not at a stage where utility matters because no one's proven utility yet. That's the reality. No one's proven
That
it.
too.
No one's proven it. I mean, Cardano, the amount of talk that those guys have given and what they've produced, my goodness. I wish I could have a job where I said all these things and delivered on 1% and I got paid for all the promises that I made. It would be an amazing world. But I hate to keep pointing out Cardano, but that's kind of what the space is right now.
If we were the marketing geniuses that Charles Hoskinson and people like Justin Sun are, we probably wouldn't be working in education right now. We'd probably have a lot more viewers on this show. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we can, we'll see. Maybe we got some prizes coming up. We'll see. Hey, guys, support the show. More content is coming. Please, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button. Any way you can help us out would be greatly appreciated. Hit that bell notification so you know when we're going live. And look for us everywhere. Guys, have a wonderful Monday evening, and we'll see you very soon.